Moorpark is not the recipient of an award tonight, but I wanted to talk a little bit to try and wrap all of this up, right? We've heard a lot of information today about smart cities, and I had the conversation with my municipality when I started about smart cities, and I asked my council to define what a smart city was. And I asked 5 council members and got 5 different answers on what a smart city was. So I'm going to talk about 2 things that will lead to the overall success of implementation of a smart cities, and then 2 things to avoid. And if you can leave this conference with just those 2 things, then you will have gotten value out of the week that we spent together. First of all, as Noel stated, it's really important to know where you're going. You have to figure out what problem that you're trying to solve before you jump in, because there's a lot of dumb money that goes towards smart cities implementations, right? But it's the old question of why did the rabbit cross the road to get to the other side? But to what end are you trying to achieve? And if you can answer that question, that fundamental question, then it will guide you in all of the activities that fall from your smart cities. You may be trying to solve a parking problem, a healthcare problem, a school, an education problem, a violence problem. But you have to sort of know where you're trying to get to help get you started. So that's fundamental, number 1. Number 2 is commit. You have to commit to it. My day typically starts out with the best of intentions. I have a plan of action, and by 9 o'clock, my plan is gone, because there's so many other things that revolve around the work that we do. But you have to commit to implementing smart cities. And you have to do that in the face of rapid change. It's like trying to fly an airplane while it's on fire and land it at the same time. So you have to commit to doing the things that you want to do, and commit to failing. Don't be afraid to fail at something to move you forward. So those are 2 key ingredients to being a smart city. Now here's 2 things that you definitely want to avoid when it comes to implementing smart cities. And that is trying to do everything. Trying to leverage your resources against everything that you have, in spite of giving up all of the other fundamental governmental services that we have to offer. It really speaks toward the flip side of knowing where you're going, but trying to do too much in the smart city space, you can end up spending valuable time and valuable money and getting nowhere on it. But I'll tell you that we have to, as local governments, commit to this. We are already behind the curve. Smart cities and technology will continue to evolve. And it will evolve faster in the 21st century than it did in the 20th century. So if we are not embracing smart city philosophies and principles, then we're going to be behind the curve. And the second thing that's important to avoid in smart cities, and I say this at the peril of other governmental services that we have to offer. One of the most fundamental things that you have to avoid is relying on other people to do it for you. They have data, they have resources, and they have means. But you have to commit to your municipality in terms of what you want to achieve in it, and don't rely on other people to do that for you. And I think that you're going to hear from the experts tonight some success stories that they've had in implementing smart technology in their cities. And I bet you that all of their programs are grounded in those 4 principles. So if you leave with nothing else today, leave with those 4 things. Commit, know where you're going, don't be afraid to fail, and keep going.